नमस्ते बिटिया, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटिया. Myself Dr. Aarti Purohit. Today we are talking about the carcinoma of prostate. Let's begin with the cancer of the prostate is the second most common form of cancer in the male, followed in frequency by the lung cancer. It is a disease of man above the age of 50 years and its prevalence increases with increasing age. It is common to classify carcinoma of the prostate into following four types. First is a latent carcinoma. This is found unexpectedly as a small focus of carcinoma in the prostate during autopsy studies in the man dying of other causes. Incidental carcinoma 20% of the prostatectomies done by BP reveal incidental carcinoma of prostate. Occult carcinoma, this is a type in which patient has no symptom of prostatic carcinoma but shows evidence of metastasis on clinical examination and investigation. And fourth, that is a clinical carcinoma. In clinical carcinoma, it is a type detected by rectal examination and other investigations and confirmed by pathologic examination of biopsy of the prostate. What is the etiology behind it? First is the endocrinological factors. The androgen are considered essential for development and maintenance of prostatic epithelium. Orchidectomy. Orchiectomy causes arrest of metastatic prostatic cancer disease. Administration of androgen causes regression of prostatic carcinoma. Cancer of the prostate is extremely rare in enants and patients with Klinefelter syndrome. Cancer of the prostate begins at the stage of life when androgen levels are high. These all four types. Racial geographical influences. There are some racial and geographical differences in incidence of prostatic cancer. African Americans have a markedly higher incidence as compared to whites. Environmental influences include high dietary fat and exposure to polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon. Flavonoid, antioxidant, and selenium may reduce the risk. Nodular hyperplasia, approximately 20% of nodular hyperplastic prostate harbors the carcinoma. In hereditary, man with prostatic cancer susceptibility gene, BRCA, have 20 times increased risk of prostatic cancer. Histogenesis of prostatic adenocarcinoma has been documented as a multi-step process arising from the pre-malignant stage of the prostatic intraepithelial neoplasm. PIN refers to the multiple foci of cytologically atypical luminal cells overlying diminished number of basal cells in prostatic duct and is forerunner of invasive prostatic carcinoma. On general examination, the prostate may be enlarged, normal in size, smaller than normal. The 95% of the cases, prostatic carcinoma is located in the peripheral zone, especially in the posterior lobe. The malignant prostate is firm and fibrous. On microscopy, four histological types are described: adenocarcinoma, transitional cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and undifferentiated carcinoma. However, adenocarcinoma is the most common type found in 96% of the cases. The histological characteristics of adenocarcinoma of the prostate are as under: architecturally disturbance in contrast to convoluted appearance of the gland seen in normal and hyperplastic prostate. There is a loss of intra-acinar papillary convolutions. The group of acini are either closely packed in back-to-back arrangement without intervening stroma and are haphazardly distributed. In stroma, normally fibromuscular slings surrounds the acini, whereas the malignant acini have little and no stromal between them. Gland pattern: most frequently, the glands in well-differentiated prostatic adenocarcinoma are small, medium size, and lined by the single layer of cuboidal and low columnar cell. Moderately differentiated, have cribriform and fenestrated glandular appearance. The tumor cells, the outer basal layer seen in the normal or benign acini is lost. The tumor cell may be clear, dark, eosinophilic cells, may show varying degree of anaplasia and nuclear atypia, but is generally slight. Invasion: one of the important diagnostic feature of the malignancy is the prostate is the early and frequent occurrence of invasion of interprostatic perineural space. The spread of the tumor within the gland by direct extension or distinct site by blood and lymphatic route. Direct extension of the tumor occur in the prostatic capsule and beyond. In late stage, the tumor may extend into the bladder, neck, seminal vesicle, trigone, and urethral opening. The metastasis and distant spread occur by both lymphatic and hematogenous route. Hematogenous spread lead most often in characteristic osteoblast osseous metastasis, especially to pelvis, lumbar spine. Other sites of metastasis are lung, kidney, breast, and brain. The clinical features include, in symptomatic cases, clinical features are urinary obstruction, dysuria, frequency, retention of urine, hematuria. In 10% cases, there is a pain in back due to skeletal metastasis. By the time symptoms appear, the carcinoma of the prostate is usually palpable on digital rectal examination as a hard and nodular gland fixed to the surrounding tissue. Two biochemical serum tumor markers employed for the diagnosis and monitoring the prognosis of prostatic carcinoma are under. First is the PAP, prostatic acid phosphatase. This is secreted by prostatic epithelium. Elevation of this level is found in cases of prostatic cancer which are extended beyond the capsule and have metastases. Then second one is a PSA, prostatic specific antigen, can be detected by immunohistochemical method in the malignant prostatic epithelium as well as estimated in the serum. A reading between 4 to 10 nanogram per milliliter is highly suspicious, but value above 10 is diagnostic of prostatic carcinoma. PSA-SE is also helpful in distinguishing high-grade prostatic cancer from urothelial carcinoma, colonic carcinoma, lymphoma, and prostatitis. The diagnosis of prostatic carcinoma can be made by clinical, biochemical, radiological, ultrasonography, FNA, and histopathological method. However, for a definite diagnosis, triple approach is commonly followed, that is DRE, digital rectal examination, PSA determination, and the transrectal ultrasound guided core needle biopsy. Histological grading and clinical staging has a good correlation with it. Gleason histological grading and WHO histological grading categorization prostatic cancer into grade 1 well differentiated, grade 2 moderately, and grade 3 poorly differentiated has largely been replaced with Gleason's microscopic grading system, which is based on two features. First is the degree of glandular differentiation and distribution, and second is the growth pattern of the tumor in relation to the stroma. Now there is a TNM staging for clinical staging of the prostatic cancer. TNM stage is considered international standard. This system of staging for prostate cancer takes into account cases for abnormal PSA and finding of DRE. Treatment of prostatic carcinoma consists of surgery, radiotherapy, hormonal therapy. The hormonal dependence of prostatic cancer consists of depriving the tumor cell of growth promoting influence of testosterone. This can be achieved by bilateral orchidectomy and followed by administration of the estrogen. This is my reference books. I hope you enjoy this session. If any query, mention it in comment box. I will try to resolve it. Thank you. Bye bye.